The Georgia Bulldogs did not have the record that they wanted in 2020. Obviously, again, playing Alabama out of the SEC West, one of their draws out of the West made it really tough for them. But again, 2 losses. You have to wonder what would have happened if JT Daniels had played sooner. A lot of what ifs with Georgia last year. But when you look at everything they have coming back, we look at the schedule for 2021, and we're going to project what that record could be. Not an official prediction. I want to make that clear. This is simply a projection based on their strength of schedule, based on their odds to win each game. So again, this is the schedule. Clemson, the big test, week 1. You see the rest of the schedule here. We're going to be using this scale to kind of group these games together. Again, not an official prediction, simply projecting based off of odds to win each game and going very conservative with this. If it's a game that I think could be a 50-50 game, 41 to 59%, we'll leave that in white, less than a 10% in red, and you're not going to see any of these on the left because they're going to at least have a 50-50 shot in every game. 60 to 74% in purple, 75 to 90% in blue, and then over 90% in green. So those are the numbers we'll be using here. Everything is not going to come out, in the same part of a particular group there. You're going to have the blue games. Some are closer to 90%, some closer to 75%. But we can't get too specific with this. That's what I mean by when I say we just kind of group these teams together. So we start with the green, the more than 90% chance to win. And I think you've got 5 of these on the schedule for Georgia. UAB's a quality group of 5 team. Don't get me wrong, but Georgia should be able to win that game. These are games where they're going to be favored by 20-plus points. I think South Carolina at home will be another game. New head coach, a lot of roster turnover there. Game is at home for Georgia. I don't really see that being too big of a test. And then Vanderbilt, kind of the same story as South Carolina, new coach. And let's face it, Vanderbilt just does not have the talent. I don't see this game being close at all. Tennessee is a mess right now. I think you can put that game also in the green here. And then Charleston Southern, an FCS opponent. So 5 easy wins for Georgia, in my opinion. You can go ahead and write these down. You can pretty much guarantee that the Bulldogs will win all 5 of these games, which means out of 12 games, again, only 7 of them have a chance to be competitive. That's good news if you're a Georgia fan. Let's go to the next group of games, and these are the 75 to 90% games. I think Arkansas is in this category, Kentucky, Missouri, and then Georgia Tech on the road. Now, Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, these are quality teams. These are going to be closer to that 75% mark, I really think. Georgia Tech probably closer to 90%. But again, I don't really see any of these games being able to put any of these games below 75%. I think Georgia will be favored by double digits in all 4 games. And that's kind of the number we use for these blue ones. These are games where I think Vegas would have Georgia as a double-digit favorite. 10, 14, 17 points, somewhere in that range. And I think that will be the case with all 4 matchups. Again, Arkansas, Kentucky, Missouri, quality teams that could challenge Georgia. They're not just going to show up and blow these teams out. Those will be competitive games for the most part. But I don't know if they'll be competitive to the point where it's a 1-possession game in the 4th quarter. And Georgia Tech, of course, is a rivalry game. So I don't think we can put that in the green. Georgia Tech's a program that's kind of trying to figure things out. They could be close to making a big jump. We'll see. So I think those 4 games are going to be in the blue for me. And then we go to the purple. So games that are 60 to 74%. And I got a couple of them. Auburn and Florida. I think Georgia will clearly be favored in both of these games, and we're talking about games where the spread's going to be about a touchdown, 7 or 8 points, somewhere in there. If the game was at home for Georgia, I'd probably put the Auburn one in the blue, but playing at Jordan-Hare, playing in a rivalry game against an Auburn team that we really just don't know a lot about, don't know what they're going to look like. And Bo Nix is back. We'll see if he makes any progress this offseason. So to me, that's a game where Georgia is clearly going to be favored, but not by a huge number. And kind of the same thing with Florida. Florida with a lot of question marks. I know they beat them last year, but I think Georgia is going to be favored in that matchup as well. That leaves one game there at the top. It's Clemson on September 4th, and we're going to leave this one in the white because I think it's a 50-50 matchup. I think this one could go either way. Neutral field, 2 top 5 teams to start the season more than likely. This is going to be a fun one. I cannot wait for this matchup. But when we talk about picking a winner in this one, I don't really see how you could favor one team by much. Now, I think Clemson will probably be favored by about a field goal. I think Clemson would be the pick right now, especially when you look at the young secondary for Georgia. That could change. They could add some transfers. Things could happen to help Georgia out in that area. I think overall roster talent, I'd probably favor Georgia. Again, this is a really tough call, one that I'm definitely not going to predict at this point because we're a long ways away. But I think it is a game that could go either way. It's a 50-50 game, so again, we'll leave it in the white. So what we do with this is we take anything over 75%, we count it as a win. Anything under 25%, we count it as a loss. They don't have anything as counted as a loss there. So then we just go to the 3 games here that are under 75%. It's Clemson, Auburn, and Florida. And out of those 3 games, we just average them out. And when you average out these 3 games, you're going to be between 1 and 2 losses, but the number does come closer to 1. So 1 loss for Georgia, 11-1 is their projection for 2021. That is their projected record based on this schedule, based on how tough this schedule is. Again, this is not an official prediction. It's close to, I'll probably pick Georgia to go 11-1, maybe 12-0. I don't really see them dropping to 10-2. But I think this is very close to where I will predict, but again, not an official prediction, as we still have a lot of evaluation to do over the next few months, really, before we start predictions. But I do think that's a very fair projection for Georgia. 11-1 in 2021. What do all of you think? Give me your thoughts on Georgia and what you project their record to be this upcoming season down in the comments below. And thank you for watching this video.